37-year-old Alex Pretti was killed today by a U.S. Border Patrol agent or agents in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He worked as a ICU nurse. He was a U.S. citizen, not that that matters. And immediately, the Trump administration jumped out in front and once again, just like the killing of Renee Good, labeled him as the person to blame. They said that he was trying to inflict massive damage, that he approached the federal agents while armed. And just want to break this down briefly because it's going to be a lot of coverage over the next weeks, days. So this is the sense in which he was armed. He has a legal permit to carry in Minnesota a concealed weapon. There you can open carry or concealed carry. And he had that with him and was loaded. Obviously, the statements from the administration want us to think that he approached the federal agents waving the gun, kind of like the person did in D.C. who attacked the National Guard, and that these brave agents disarmed him. And during that, as he was resisting, they had to kill him. They like to use that term, fear for their life, defensive shots. There are no defensive shots when you shoot people. So if you take a look at the videos, which we'll include here and they're all over the internet, I just want to draw your attention to a few things. The most blatant point is that both Kristi Noem as well as Greg Bovino's statements are simply lies. This notion that they're trying to push that he came to inflict massive damage to massacre agents. The only thing in his hands was a cell phone. And it's incredibly clear from these multiple angles that he was holding up a cell phone. He then tried to assist a woman who was thrown to the ground for no particular reason by an ICE agent. And as he turned to assist her to get up, they pepper sprayed him, swarmed him, began to beat him to the ground. Here the video is a little unclear. At some point you can see one of these agents begin to hit him in the face with something, not sure what that is, and then they start to shoot him. They shoot him multiple times, he dies on the scene. Among the other misleading statements you're going to see are claims that there was immediate medical assistance rendered. There is none. Nor do you see anybody putting the gun away as though he was holding it. There are later photos of a gun that supposedly was recovered from him, but that's no longer at the crime scene. It's taken somewhere else, like in the back seat of a car someplace. So where does this leave us? It leaves us in a terrible situation. First of all, there's not going to be any meaningful federal investigation here. There were already reports in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that the federal agents tried to wave off the local police. But luckily, the police chief told his people, you got to stay there. Try and do the investigation on the scene. There'll be no federal investigation under this administration. But what it does tell us is the value of all these people using their cell phones to record. Much better than just one angle of body cam footage, which probably these folks didn't even have body cam footage, the agents. These multiple angles are the way that citizens are documenting what's happening. It's the only hope for justice here. And it preserves evidence for a future federal prosecution. But you don't really need a future federal prosecution. That would be great. And to revamp the entire structure of these agencies. But what you need right now is a full investigation by the authorities who are there, the state people who can do that. And only then is there some chance of holding these people accountable for the murder of people, not just citizens, the murder of people. That's where the justice lies right now, is in our ability to document this. Talk to you soon.